Welcome back to the Old Paths. I am Caleb. Appreciate you so very much being here today. Want to give a shout out right off the bat to Corey and Teresa over at Grams and Pops Vintage. Went and shared the evening with them on their live last night. At the time of recording this, it's Monday morning. We spent some time with them talking about the meetup and just having a good time. And something major happened there that I did not expect to have happen. Tanya made her on-screen debut. That gives me hope that she will show up here soon. Hopefully. So go check out Grams and Pops Vintage channel. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to their channel. Watch their live to see what Tanya looks like, to hear her talk, see what she's like. She makes me look like a clown most of the time because she's so funny. And most people love her a whole lot more than me just because she's so much nicer and sweeter and kinder and just all around better. But I really appreciate her coming on too. We had a good time with Josh talking to those guys, and go check it out. But let's see what's happening here at the Old Paths. All right, let's see what sold today. We started off kind of slow. I didn't think we was going to have a very good weekend, but we ended up selling 17 items. We did not have a single home run, so to speak, in that whole bunch. You know, a lot of times you'll have something sell for $100, something like that. We didn't really have anything break through into that realm. Most of this stuff is $15, $20, $30 stuff. So $369.40 is the total. And we had a couple things that we packed Friday that went that really would add on to that total. So it's around 400, but we're okay with that because still yet not listing. 17 orders for $370 is not a bad weekend when you're not hitting a lick at nothing. So I'll take it every time. But let's show you what sold. So first up, we have this Simpsons. I think I could, no, it's sealed. She sealed it. But anyway, it's a Homer Simpson as Santa Claus. You can kind of get the idea there. It's an apron. That sold for $17.02. This Goffa chicken plush sold for $9.99. This really cool looking Mr. Grinch right here, Dr. Seuss the Grinch figurine, sold for $18. He's a good one if you find him in the box. Sold these guys right here. I've had these things for absolutely forever. They're really cool looking. I don't know if I'm turning the camera, not a good idea. But they're really nice, but I've had them for years, and they finally sold for $30. Got a bag full of Christmas ornaments, just random different wooden Christmas ornaments. That bag sold for $17. Then here's a really good sale. Really good, by the way. So I sold a lot of 9 CDs for $20.97. Totally happy with that. The problem is when you're in the transition of moving from place to place, I took the table with all the media to the house, so those CDs aren't here. That's bad. So what I am going to do is I'm going to get a box. I'm going to pack it at 2 pounds because that's 9 CDs. I actually weigh a CD, weigh a box, multiply the CDs by 9, add a few ounces, half a pound, something like that. Go ahead and pack it. Take some bubbles with me, take a box, take some tape, and just seal it up when I get to the house and then make another run. So it happens. I wouldn't recommend trying to work an operation like this out of 2 locations unless you're smarter and more equipped than I am. But that sold for $20.97. Then we sold this Case New Holland tractor metal sign, like man cave decor, just a thin metal sign hangs on the wall. It sold for $11.97. Sold some more of these speakers, the TalkBack external speakers by Lenco. That one's $16.51. Sold this Slide Innovations fitness tracker, true wireless earbuds with a watch, I guess. I don't know much about that. $22.84, and I've got like 4 or 5 more of those available. Then sold 2 wrestling action figures. This is the Road Dogg Jesse James, and I wish I had Billy Gunn, but he ain't there. And then Mr. McMahon, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I probably wouldn't have sold him. I've had him for so long, but everything that's going on in the media about him, I probably wouldn't have sold him, just because he's got a lot of bad stuff coming out on him. But those 2 sold together for $16.60, and that's really sad. Everything that McMahon has built, he's ruined himself. Impression Obsession cover a card. This is a Dots stamp set. It's got it's really cool. I could probably walk on that and love it. $11.97 on that. I love stuff like that because it packs so easy. Sold this Star Wars Mattel. I think these are Mattel. Yeah, 2016 Hot Wheels Star Wars diecast. These are so cool. They're not super valuable. Some of them's okay. This one sold for $14.08, and take note that is on a 35% off sale. So you know it would have sold for another $5, about $20 on that one. But they're just so stinking cool. It's hard to not sell those. Sold another talkback speaker. I think that one, yeah, $16.51 on that one as well. Sold a Simpsons. See if I can undo this for you, and kind of, it's going to be hard to show you guys and hold the camera, but a big Simpsons beach towel. I don't know. Surely there's a better way here that I can. Not doing very good at this. Anyway, you just get the gist. It's the Simpsons on a beach towel. And it sold for $19.71 on that. Sold some Donald Trump facsimile money. These are just the fake gold-plated foil currency notes. They're pretty cool looking. Love him or hate him, that guy's in the news. I tell you, he's always making headlines. Sold those for $5.93. Sold yet another speaker, and got 2 more of those left, I believe. 3 more out of, there was a ton. $16.51 on that one. And then finally sold this Make the Season Bright singing, hip swinging Santa, and he sold for $20, $21.94. So like I said, nothing real big. It's just all bread and butter. The Santa was probably, nope, I'm lying. That watch right there, $22, was probably the biggest sale. Nope, I lied again. The biggest sale was these 2, $30. So $30. So don't, that's what we're going to talk about today is bread and butter. Don't overlook the bread and butter, for sure. It can be well worth selling bread and butter. So there is 17 orders for $370. We'll take that, definitely. No listing and still selling. I'm going to take that and be very, very happy. All right, guys. So I wanted to talk just a few minutes about our topic, kind of what we really done a lot of this week in sales, and that's bread and butter sales. Are they any good? Can you survive, or can you thrive, or can you make a business out of, low dollar to not super valuable stuff? So obviously we sold 17 items for, I done forgot because honestly it's the next day, but I believe it was like $370. So that's not horrible, and it's more work to do it that way. But if you're finding a lot of lower dollar items, you can still make a viable run at a business. You just have to usually list more, do more work, things like that. So it's good to have a good mixture of higher end items along with some of your lower end items. But today, for instance, I'm filming 2 separate days. So I filmed Monday as normal at the other house, and then today I'm at the new house at my computer listing, and I dropped 20 listings. I finally started back after Tanya showed up, by the way, on Grams and Pops Vintage Live. Sunday night. And yes, that's right, Tanya debuted on a different channel, not this one. I'm not sure how to feel about that. But anyway, she showed up. And if you want to see what Tanya looks like, Grams and Pops Vintage, their live show from Sunday night, Tanya shows up somewhere towards about 3/4 of the way through, something like that, halfway through. But anyway, so she really got the fire lit under me that I need to start listing again. And I just got my computer set up here at home about a week and a half ago, and just hadn't had a really good chance to get started doing that. But I did today. I've actually got 30, but I only dropped 20 because I'm trying to build my draft bank up a little bit as I go to give myself some cushion. So I got 20 for $380. So that's mostly bread and butter dollar amounts. There's a couple in there there's a $43, a $40, another 43, a 33. I mean, even that stuff is really, I mean, it's really close to being considered bread and butter. You know, $43, it's a 14 CD soundtrack lot. I've probably got, I don't know, $2-3 in that at the most, because I picked up those CDs for like probably a nickel. I don't know, let's say 10 cents a piece, or even 20 cents a piece. That would be, you know, like $2.50, $3. So that is going to produce me about $380 worth of listings, $379.80. It took me roughly 2 hours to do all that. Once I get past some of that, because that's some of the old stuff I had ready, I had quite a few CD lots and things of that nature to go through. Once I get through that and you get, you know, to some of the stuff that's more interesting to list, it'll get easier. But bread and butter can really offer, it can keep you afloat. I'll say it like that. If you have a $20 item that you got a buck in, and you know, it's not as appealing as a $100 item, well, I understand that. But one thing you got to think about is, am I going to be able to make it through the winter months? Because if it's like it is here, the thrift stores have really become hard to buy from and sustain your inventory throughout the winter. I can sustain my inventory throughout the summer. That's no problem. Spring, summer, fall, I'm usually fine. But there's that hey, that's a good sound. There's that 3 month, sometimes or so period, that if I don't have enough backlogged, I'm going to run out of stuff. And obviously over the last 3 months without listing, you can see what that does. I've went down about 60% in sales. So 60% is pretty huge to go down in sales. So if you have to buy, just like I did, these CDs, that nothing was super huge, but it has maintained me enough work to be able to continue to list. Now, granted, if I would have been listing, I'd have been way beyond these CDs by now. But there are a lot of things like that, and I try not to go. I do have a couple of $9.99 listings in here. I really hate to go that low, and traditionally I don't. And I may change that going forward once I get through this stuff that I've already got done. I would really like to go to a $20 and up policy, especially since I'm free shipping. It'd be $20 on the stuff that's going under a pound, and maybe even like $30 on the stuff that's going over a pound, just to protect and insulate the shipping costs. And if it's heavier items, you know, I try to build those shipping costs in, so it's going to be even more expensive. But you can maintain, you can do well if you're willing to put in the time, and that's really the key to eBay. It's really the key to anything. What you invest in is going to be what really shows up as being important to you. So if you feel like eBay is important to you, you're obviously going to invest more time in it. But bread and butter can be good. Now, don't leave, because I want to show you guys just a small bit of progress. It's not much. On the guest house, I did actually get a few racks moved in, and what I'm trying to do is a seamless move all at once, where I can move all of our inventory out there, and the building's not done, not even started, but I'm going to store the inventory that is not heat sensitive there, and have my listing table in the house and my packing table in the house,
and I've got all the racks on wheels so far, 4 of them or 5. I'll show you. And I'm going to bring the rest of them out, and I'm going to put as many on wheels as I have wheels, and maybe even buy wheels. That way when I get ready to do a little bit, I can just scoot them out of my way and work around them. And that ain't ideal, but you know, sometimes you got to do what you can do. So stay tuned and we will show you all of that stuff. All right, let's walk inside the guest house. I have literally done not much of anything in here since we moved in. I have put a piece of plywood out here. But I did bring some racks. So I've got 4 of my metal racks out here, and I do have them on wheels, you can see. And there's going to be a lot more headspace. Man, there's going to be, I can put really tall stuff in here. Like, that's probably 4 foot. And then if you go to the middle here, yeah, I could put probably 10-foot stuff on top of that one. So that is just a very small segment that I've taken care of, but I may start back here laying out my shelving, bringing it this way, because my OCD says this side of the window needs to be like this side. So either those have to come up or those have to go back. You know, my OCD tells me that because it's off kilter. So hopefully it lines up right and these racks will fall back to like that first 2x4 there. Because I'm just crazy, I know, guys. So literally all that I've got to do to get started is take that wire to that spot right there, and then drop a couple of lines in this. This is probably going to become a closet. We was thinking a bathroom, and we could eventually do it as a bathroom, but we're thinking about doing a closet now and putting an out swing door here. And that'll leave you with a walkway of about almost 4 feet. It's probably three feet, I would say. And not 100%. We was thinking a spiral staircase, but I'm not sure what we're going to do now. We got to have some way to access the loft, because it's going to be a big old space up there. It's going to be a bedroom, so we got to do something. My desk will come here. If there is room for my desk to sit here, boxes to go in here, and my pack table to start here and go to about right here. There'll be one more place for a rack here. I may actually bring my gun safe from the house and put it right here in this corner. I'm just really not sure it'll fit. That's the only issue. I think it would stick out past my window a little bit. So I got to figure out that. But yeah, got a couple of racks out here, and the plan is I've got to adjust this one thing because it's off kilter all the way up and down through there, and then bring one more here and get these two either adjusted or bring some that are already pre-adjusted. And thinking about putting my totes A through E, I think it is, and then whatever they are, up and down through here, and then putting my double stack totes here, because that'll fill up this void really good, and I won't have but a few feet of wasted space. And then anything that's really tall, like we have a for those of you that watch the channel regularly, you will remember maybe we had a butler guy that was like 3.5 foot tall. He would fit perfect up there. Stuff like that maybe could go up top there, and just have my totes in this first, like these first segment of racks here. About 5 racks would be totes, and then I'll put another section of racks butted up to the back side of this. Then there'll be 2 more like right here, and 2 more like right here. So that should be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, with a possibility of 2 more fitting up against the wall back here, possibly. So could get 17, somewhere between 15 to 17 racks in here, and still have room for a staircase that would stick out like right here. Then you'd have a walkway around it, a walkway to there, a big opening here to pack, list, and more racks back through there. So hopefully in the next few weeks I'll be able to start
insulating this room. The first project, you see it right here, I have to finish the porch. This all has to come up, and then I have to deck the porch, and I have to figure out, me and Tanya have been discussing what we want to do, either connecting and making a step up, connecting and making a ramp down that way, or putting steps and cutting out some of that hill and having, like, the steps are there, here, where you can park in between them, and you can park on this side, so you can park a couple vehicles there, a couple vehicles there. We have a couple down at the very end, and we're going to extend the circle drive to go down between these rocks and the driveway here, so it'll come up and circle like this, and you could just continue over with some gravel in here for parking. So we're trying to figure out which one we want to do the most, because we want to make it not, I mean, we're not trying to make it most expensive. We're trying to do it the best economic way, but also we're trying to make it most accessible. And I talked about doing the steps here, cut the hill back and do steps, and doing a connection but leaving the porch as is, because it's really pretty like that, and making a ramp that way. So you would have a ramp going around, and you would have steps going down, and in the future, if you wanted to, you could still take that down and just have a step down. So we'll see. You know, I think a couple of ways in's better than just one, but we'll see. We've got a lot to do and a lot to think about as far as that goes. All right, guys, I'm going to say thanks once again, tell you guys bye before we head out. Really appreciate everything you do. The subscribers have slowed down, but they have picked up a little bit here lately. Thank you to Grams and Pops Vintage again for having myself and Josh, Bama Jaybird Resell, us, the two old guys, on their live the other night, and Tanya for her debut. Hopefully now she can show up here. We'll see. But thanks for sticking with us, and we appreciate you. And if you made it this far and you're not, please hit that subscribe button. We would really appreciate it. It helps us a lot. And hit the thumbs up. Check out the videos. We appreciate you being here. Thanks so much for all you do. Until next time, keep seeking the old paths.